Comfrey is a perennial herb in the borage family that you may want to add to your garden. It grows from a turnip-shaped root and has very large, kind of hairy leaves. It'll grow 2 to 3 feet tall. Has beautiful bell-shaped flowers that are white, pale pink, or lavender. Bees love it. And it grows in full sun or part shade. Now, deer also love it, so you may not be successful growing it if you have deer. But you want to plant it where you want it. It has very deep roots, and the roots allow it to accumulate high levels of minerals and nutrients, so it's an excellent plant to use in your garden. It grows rapidly and can be cut to the ground every month during the growing season. I like to plant it next to the compost bin so I have a ready source of nitrogen and moisture to add to the compost pile. But don't add too much at one time because it can end up being a thick, black, smelly mess. Cut the leaves and use them as a nutrient-rich mulch around your plants too. The best mineral content is right before flowering, so that's an excellent time to process it. The leaves are high in calcium, phosphorus, potassium, trace minerals, and vitamins A, B12, and C. You want to use gloves when you're shearing it back because it does have very fine hairs. Now you can make a Comfrey cocktail to give your plants a nutrient-rich boost by adding 2 cups of coarsely chopped comfrey leaves and stems in a blender. Cover it with hot water and blend, and then allow to cool, and pour that mixture around the base of your plants or use it in your containers. It's a great nutrient boost for tomatoes and for potatoes. You can also use large and unattractive leaves from your Swiss chard in the same way. You can make a really effective aged comfrey liquid fertilizer by adding several pounds of comfrey leaves to rainwater in a 5-gallon bucket. Put a screen on for mosquitoes and let it age for several weeks. It'll take less time, maybe 2 weeks in hot weather and up to 4 weeks in colder weather. It makes a thick, black, and smelly fertilizer, but it's very, very effective. Dilute it before you use. Now, the herb comfrey has a lantoin in it, which speeds up natural cell replacement and helps wounds heal faster. It's good for burns, mild cuts and abrasions, and even poison ivy. You can bruise the fresh leaves and apply them as a poultice for swollen or inflamed skin. The plant was called knitbone because it was reported to help heal broken bones. Dried comfrey leaves can be brewed as a tea and used as a hair rinse, and the lantoin in the stems makes it very effective for skin softening and for hair. The leaves contain an alkaloid that may be toxic to the liver, so it's not recommended for internal use. Another great herb is the stevia rebaudiana. It's a member of the sunflower family, and it's a tender perennial, dies back in the winter, but generally comes back here. It's native to Paraguay, and it grows in many different areas. It was used during World War II as a sweetener when sugar was rationed, and the leaves are 20 to 30 times sweeter than sugar, but they also have some bitter compounds. A single fresh leaf can be equivalent to 2 teaspoons of sugar. 2 tablespoons of dried leaves can be equivalent to a cup of sugar. Now, powdered white stevia has been refined to remove the bitter flavors. It's sweetest when it's grown in hot climates, so we can do well with it here. In the 70s, Japan started cultivating stevia as an alternative to sweeteners like saccharin, and it's been used in carbonated beverages here in the U.S. for a while, marketed as Truvia. China is the largest exporter of stevia, but we can grow it very easily here. It has very few pest problems, occasionally might have spittle bugs, and it'll grow 24 to 30 inches tall. It doesn't like temperatures below 50, though. It can flop over when it's flowering, so you might want to cage it to keep it upright. You can grow it in containers quite easily and take it inside for the winter too and keep it all winter long. It's very sensitive to cold, and it doesn't like to be overwatered but does like consistent moisture. Keep the flowers well pinched off, and fall is the best time to harvest it for flavor. A couple of ways to harvest it. You can dry the leaves in a dehydrator. You want to dry it very quickly, so put it in sun or a dehydrator, and you can crush those dried leaves in a mortar and pestle and store it in a glass jar. You can also make a liquid stevia extract with warm water, and you can find recipes for making these stevia recipes on the KLRU website. I'm Trisha Shirey for Backyard Basics.